So the Knicks still live in the in-season tournament. They wrap up group play at home Tuesday night against Charlotte. The Knicks, while they gave up 37 points in the third quarter, most they've ever allowed in a quarter this year, and then they had their best defensive quarter of the year in the fourth quarter, giving up only 11 points, outscoring the Heat in the fourth quarter 29-11. What a win.
How you doing? That was outstanding. The Garden was electric. I was in the building. The Knicks could not find their game at all. They just completely got tight in that third quarter, but they didn't let it affect them. They continued to compete. That unit with Hartenstein in there, Josh Hart in there, DiVincenzo in there, Quickley and Barrett. That unit had a lot of success last year against the Heat in the playoffs to start the second quarter and to start the fourth quarter. They got the momentum, and momentum is a key thing in NBA basketball. No lead is safe. We've seen it with how quickly the possessions go with the three-point shot. And the Miami Heat completely started scoreboard watching. They started to not play aggressive. And when you don't play aggressive and finish and sprint to the finish line in the NBA, you're going to lose against a good basketball team. And how about Jalen Brunson down the stretch? Outstanding. He's one of the best closers in the league in crunch time. And he played great to close this game out, help the Knicks get this win.
Crazy back and forth because Miami started the third quarter on a 19-0 run. And then in the fourth quarter, Miami goes 3 of 21 from the floor. How do you explain that?
How do you explain it? It's good Knicks defense, and you can't get too high and you can't get too low in an NBA basketball game. You have to kind of stay steady. And that's what happens when you bring different units onto the floor. The Knicks' second unit is an energizing unit, and when they play at home, they start to get aggressive on the defensive end of the floor. Miami starts the scoreboard watch, and then you start to see momentum plays all over the place. R.J. Barrett and Immanuel Quickley just completely started to play basketball. It wasn't hold the ball, dribble the ball, ISO situations. Like I mentioned, move the basketball. It was my key to the game in the pregame. Ball movement, and you will find energy. The ball will find energy, and plays will start to happen. And then conversely, there's Jalen Brunson where he hurt his shoulder, but he seemed to be fine. Here he's schooling the rookie, Jaime Jaquez, gets the Knicks to within one. It was just outstanding basketball, and this was the play that got the Knicks the lead. Right there, tied at 96. The free throw makes it 97-96, and then once the Knicks got the lead, you knew Jalen Brunson was going to close the door on the Miami Heat and close this game out. And how about the defense? What a defensive stand right there. Isaiah Hartenstein could have gotten posterized. 2-point lead for the Knicks. Jimmy Butler on the road, goes for the win. No chance, Jimmy Buckets. Not in MSG, not in the world's most famous arena. Not going to happen. The Knicks avenged that loss in the playoffs last year to the Miami Heat. That's a huge win for their regular season standings to get that first win against the Heat, defend home court. And they stay alive, like you mentioned, in the in-season tournament. They're now 2-1, right there behind Milwaukee, and their point differential is very good with the Hornets coming to town in their last in-season tournament game on Tuesday.
All right, Alan Hahn helped call the game on the MSG Radio Network. He joins us now from the Garden. Alan, what a win. Your reaction?
The building was incredible. I mean, I heard Wally talking about it as well. You guys were in here. It really was something to see because you go 19-0 to open the half, and you see the team goes down 21. And all I kept saying to myself, I was saying on the radio broadcast, is knowing this Knicks team, what they do, they compete all the way to the end. We saw it in Minnesota. It was a rough night, but they compete to the end. You keep fighting, and you never know what can happen. And they did that in this second half, led by Jalen Brunson, and obviously Immanuel Quickley making big shots as well. And the crowd, when you're home like this, Wally, I know you've lived this, when the building gets behind you, anything is possible. And Jalen Brunson and that bulldog mentality he had was just willing this Knicks team back into the game. And it almost seemed like Miami thought they had this thing in the bag, and all of a sudden it was a game. And when the building was as loud as it was, chanting MVP for Jalen Brunson, you just had a feeling they were going to pull this thing off, and they did. The way the second half started for Miami is how it ended for the Knicks. They went to 12-2 to close. They keep them off the board. 2 points in the last 4 minutes with that defense that they played, an opportunistic offense. This was quite a win. And if this is what the in-season tournament's all about, I want more.
Alan, the fourth quarter, the way that unit started with Barrett, Hartenstein, and company, they were just absolutely outstanding. What did they do out there that just changed and flipped the momentum of that game completely?
Well, it was real. you saw ball movement, which was the most important thing, and you talked about it, Wally, how important the ball movement was. But there was just a physicality to this game that Miami brought at the start of the second half that the Knicks didn't look like they were ready for, whatever it was to start the half. They missed some open shots, but Miami just raised the level of physicality in this game, and it took a couple of players, and it started with Jalen Brunson. I think Brunson realized, like, the one hit he took the hurt. He hurt his shoulder, he missed the free throw, but he just had this angry look on his face, and it was almost like the rest of the team started to understand, oh, that's right, it's Knicks Heat. This has got to be a physical game. And then you realize that the officials are going to let you get away with a little more than usual. And so you saw it on both ends. It just got real physical. And then in the end, once the Knicks raised their level to that, you could just see the difference. Their confidence level never dropped. And that was a good sign to see, because sometimes against teams like this, Wally, you see, like, a team might just kind of let go of the rope. Oh, this team's playing hard. It's not going our way. But the Knicks fought back, and you could see that mentality, which was great to see in them, because that's the only reason why they were able to come back in this game.
All right, Alan, as always, we appreciate it. We'll see you on Sunday.
You got it, boys.
All right, Knicks on Sunday will host the Suns, 5:30 pregame, game at 6. How about Immanuel Quickley? 20 points. He had an 8-point quarter in the last quarter, and when he starts to get going, he can change the momentum of the game, and it seemed like when he started to go, that's when the game totally changed.
And think about what could have been if he didn't get hurt in the playoffs last year. He's a complete difference maker who Miami Heat have real problems matching up with. When he came in that game, he completely energized the whole entire building. Looked to be aggressive, really attacked in pick and roll, broke down their defense at will, got his feet in the paint, made plays, made passes, knocked down huge threes. The ball starts moving when he gets onto the floor. The unit starts to play for each other, and that's an outstanding pass by Dante DiVincenzo. He recognized that Immanuel Quickley was red hot in that third quarter. Look for the hot player, get him the rock in the right spots, and Immanuel Quickley just absolutely loves playing in front of his home fans. When he gets in the game, it doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. He is going to play with one focus, play to win, play hard, and make plays. And that's exactly what Tom Thibodeau loves about his game. He said it in the in-season tournament. He said, it's another game on the schedule. We're going to play it to win it. I'm going to prepare just like I always do, and I'm going to go in this game just like I always do. And this is what we've gotten accustomed to Immanuel Quickley doing when he enters the basketball game.
And Wally, how about the Knicks winning despite the fact they committed 19 turnovers and Miami turned those 19 turnovers into 25 points, and the Knicks were able to come back and win anyway?
Hey, well, the Knicks defense, when it's set, is one of the best in the league. So teams are going to try to turn over the Knicks and get some easy buckets in transition, because when you have Mitchell Robinson back there and a very versatile defensive squad, the Knicks are tough to score on one-on-one. And the Miami Heat offense completely stagnated in that fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler was looking to get fouled. He's just like, please, would someone send me to the free throw line? Because I know I have no chance to make a field goal, and neither did any of his other teammates. They were looking to try to sneak out as any points they could in the fourth quarter by getting bailed out and going to the free throw line, because the Knicks defense was so good, it was so locked in, and they just had no good opportunities to get good shots in the half court.